Hello. I will show you the Immortal Game between Adolf Anderssen and Lionel Kizuritsky. This game was played 1851, and I would say every chess player must see it once because it's a great game. And yeah, so we begin with white e4. We are in the 1850s. We're at the romantic area of chess, and everybody play their e4. Yeah, so e5 from Kizuritsky. Adolf Anderssen played one of the aggressive openings with white, and white, it's a king's gambit on white, sacrifices here a pawn to play d4, to have good center, to be more active with the pieces. Now the bishop comes out, this bishop comes here out, and yeah, you see that's a good opening. Yeah, the best way here is to take like engine, but you can also play as black the elbow for counter gambit, d5. But well, the best move for engine is takes. I don't know. So white plays bishop c4, and now black makes actually a mistake. Now this bishop gambit is not that popular, and she said, yeah, make a check, and I move my king. What? But you actually play this after e5, d5. So, wow, that's not that big deal, but Kizuritsky made a check. It must come king f1 because g3 is very bad. Very bad, because you can take here. And now the problem is you can't take because the queen takes here. Now, if it's so, also one problem is that and now gives the black thorns discover check. Best move is here to take, and after take, here check, to make here check. Yeah, something like, no, not this, not this. Maybe you go back. But what's no, knight f6 is best. This is not working because this cover check again, but after this you take here the pawn, and yeah, actually standing much worse. But yeah, g3 is not going. So you need to play king f1. But you think, yeah, he cannot rochade, he cannot castle, he stands not, the king is very bad and he will lose. But the problem is that in this position, in a king of f1, the king is totally safe at f1. You can't attack it, so yeah. Then came b5. So why you play b5? So why Kizaritsky want to play b5? What was the idea? The idea was actually that if he takes, which he did, you can maybe play something like this and get the bishop out. Yeah, but actually you can play d6. Actually you can play d6, it's not a big deal. You can also play d5, and it's also not a big deal. And the bishop comes out. Also with d6. Yeah, and black sends you better, but b5 is your sacrifice. You lose a pawn, right? So yeah, why not? You take. Then knight f6. Black plays knight f6, and you develop the knight, and yeah, maybe it can like h5, not maybe g4, and g4 can, yeah, actually can be. So if the knight comes to g5, it can be serious because the knight is just staring at this field, and then the queen can make checkmate on f2, and yeah, that can be very bad. And yeah, knight f3, bad move. The queen must go, and yeah, so white plays d3, which is not that good, because it's logical. You're defending what? Yeah, you're defending the pawn, right? Because of the knight. Because the knight attacks this pawn, right? Because the knight attacks the pawn. Yeah, because the knight attacks the pawn. Right? No. No, you can't play d4. Because after takes, you can play queen e2. And you're completely fine. Yeah, you can play f5, but the whole game you must defend this knight. Yeah, okay. Knight c3, and now d5. So look how everything when it defend this knight. This knight is not good. So you know, but white played d3 and black plays knight h5. The idea is knight g3, and yeah, a little bit obvious. So you're threatening knight g3, and if you take, then queen h1, and you lose. Oh, and you must take, because it's a double attack. And yeah, so you play so Anderson plays knight h1, which is a mistake. And yeah, what? So now he is. So now you black can't play knight g3 first, and Anderson wanna maybe will play knight of 5, but the problem is it's not that good, and it's really not that good. A better move. Rook g1 will be a better move. And actually, knight g3, you can play knight g3, and you wanna play g4, and yeah. And black's reaction, queen g5. Now you have a problem. The problem of black and this of white is in this position is that the knight and the bishop are attacked from the queen. Okay, now that means you can defend it too with knight f5. That's the only move in this position. And really, so Kizarutsky plays now c6. He's threatening d5. Yeah, he's threatening d5 to open the center. Oh yeah, here. And the bishop must go back. So, but as white, you can really, as black, you can really play g6. After h4, queen f6, and black. Stand your better. Black wins in this position. Yeah. So now, for the after c6 came g4. It's an interesting move. Now, what's the idea? So, the idea is now the knight on h5 has problems. The queen has problems. You can't take en passant. You thought you're smart. No, I'm kidding, because then you won't lose. Now this is hanging, and yeah, but it gives better news. Just play bishop a. Just Just play bishop a4. But bishop c4 is not that good because d5. You have big problems, and yeah. g4, knight f6. Attacks the pawn. But yeah, there hung him. But there is a hanging bishop. Why he didn't take the bishop? Why he didn't take the bishop? Because it's not a good move. Because now you can just take the knight. So the knight must go back. Knight f6, the pawn is hanging. So logical move. But actually you can play in this position only g6. And after black stands it better. Because rook g1 is the only move. So now Arthur Anderson plays rook g1. Well, so defensive pawn. Now he takes the bishop, and now the game begins. I have talked 70 minutes, and now the game begins. So black has problem. So black has problem. Now you should play h5, or you can play d5. But Kizuritsky don't play. Take the. It's logical. Everybody, most of you will take the bishop. And now h4. But what's the idea? But why? Because you attack the queen, and where can the queen go? So you must play queen g6. Now h5. You go with the queen back. These are the only moves. That's how you can't play this. And Kizuritsky has a bishop more. Now queen f3. Now Alf Anderson plays great. The knight goes back to g. What is that? Nothing. Nothing here. Nothing here. That's nothing here is developed. What is that? White is more developed than black. And the knight went back after knight g8. Bishop f4. Now the pawn was attacked. You win the pawn, and your bishop is developed. So you take the bishop and you take the pawn. The bishop get developed, and your queen and the black queen is under attack. So queen f6. So now do you see it? Every piece of Adolf Anderson is developed. Yeah, not this rook, but do you see Kizuritsky is absolutely stuck. And now bishop c5. That's the first piece that arrived out of the jet now. Not the first. The first was the knight, but now the only on the board. So knight d5. He sacrificed the b2 pawn. So yeah, he takes. Bishop d6. Which is actually a bad move? Now, this is bad. So this is that's a dumb move. Why? Why? Because now queen takes a1, and after this came what? But what's the best move? So after this, take here, and now take it or not? You're not the rook. How Kizuritsky done? No, you make queen b2, and and you have a okay position, and white has much to do, and yeah, so bishop d6 is actually bad move. Better was rook e1. Just push, but it's the main move. Bishop d6, because this is the best game of all time. Now Kizuritsky just blunders here and plays bishop takes g1, e5. Why e5? This move e5 has an idea, because the queen is stuck here. The queen can't defend this now because of this pawn, and now the best piece on the board for black can't defend, and that means Adolf Anderson just can do whatever you want. So actually, you can here play also rook e1, but he plays e5, and now he takes. But yeah, he takes, and of this, now that was a bad move. You now knight a6. That was a bad move. But what was a bad move? I will say you what was a bad move. Bishop a6. Bishop a6 was the best move, and you sacrificed the rook for the best defense. And after king d8, he can take the rook. No, he can't, because you have more material, so he must continue to attack. What he should do? He must take this bishop. And you can't even take this. You must now defend. So because why you can't just take far. That's bad. That's bad news. And that means you must play queen c3. And he's slamming you and you lose. This was the only defense for black. So it get on how now bishop a, and now queen. Now the mate. You can find it. Mate in 3. 1, 2, 3. You can stop, and I will show you knight to g7. What's next? Think. Because you sacrifice the queen! Queen f6. Why queen f6? So, because if he takes the knight, he takes with the knight, you make here checkmate. Or you can play knight d7. And then it's also the same checkmate. In this position you can also play this. Well, it's made, but yeah, it's not that deep. But this is, but queen f6, take mate, and with 21 points of materials, less than his opponent, Adolf Andersen destroyed him completely. This game was not even a tournament, it was a free part. It was a free game, so there was a tournament, but they said, one said, let's play a game, and they played a game in one of a cafe or something like this, and they played the most beautiful game in the history of chess. And with that words, that was the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and please subscribe to the channel, and bye.